The architecture of your reality. The life you're living right now is not an accident of circumstance, but a direct reflection of the thoughts you have chosen to nurture. Every achievement, every relationship, every obstacle you face was first a blueprint drawn in the private studio of your imagination. Long before your feet arrived at their current destination, your mind had already mapped the journey. This reveals a profound truth. The most significant battles we face are not fought on external fields, but in the quiet chambers of our consciousness. Your greatest adversary is not some external force opposing you, but the limiting beliefs you have allowed to take residence within you. Your identity is not defined by the opinions of others, by your present circumstances, or by the weight of your history. You are, quite simply, the embodiment of your most dominant thoughts. If transformation is what you seek, do not begin by rearranging your external world. Begin by renovating your internal landscape, for your life will always flow in the direction of your strongest convictions.
The interior blueprint of creation. The architecture of your being was designed with a specific orientation from the inside outward. The Creator established this principle at the very beginning, forming humanity in a particular image before granting any authority to act. This divine order reveals that function flows from identity, not the other way around. When we understand this design, we recognize why external attempts at change so often fail. Religious systems may focus on modifying behavior, but the kingdom operates on a deeper principle. Transformed thinking produces transformed living naturally, without force or pretense. The mind functions as the command center of human existence, interpreting every experience and directing every response. This is why the ancient wisdom declares that a person becomes precisely what they continuously think about, not what they occasionally pray about, not what they wish for in moments of desperation, but what occupies the throne of their mental attention. Your thinking is the soil in which your entire life grows.
The paradox of spiritual stagnation. Here we encounter one of the great mysteries of the spiritual journey. Sincere devotion does not automatically produce transformed circumstances. Many who love deeply, pray fervently, and worship consistently find themselves trapped in cycles of stagnation. The missing element is not sincerity, but mental renewal. Prayer operates most effectively when it flows through a mind aligned with truth. You can petition heaven endlessly, but if your thinking remains unchanged, your circumstances will likely remain unchanged as well. A renewed mind perceives time differently, not as something to pass, but as something to invest. Each day becomes an installment of life itself, and how you think determines how you spend it. When your thinking shifts, your questions shift. You stop asking for mere survival and begin contemplating legacy. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start seeing yourself as a steward of resources. This is the essence of kingdom consciousness, recognizing that you are part of something larger than your immediate experience. The gatekeeper's responsibility. Consider this simple illustration. You cannot prevent every thought from entering your awareness, just as you cannot stop every bird from flying overhead. But you absolutely determine which thoughts build nests and take up residence in your consciousness. You are the appointed gatekeeper of your own imagination, possessing both the authority and the responsibility to choose what remains. Mature thinking begins when blame ends. Leaders distinguish themselves not by identifying who caused a problem, but by determining what they can do about it. The divine search has always been for those who think constructively rather than reactively, who solve problems rather than merely report them. This is why meditation on truth matters so profoundly. It is not about emptying the mind, but filling it, until truth becomes your automatic response. Through consistent pondering and rehearsing of what is true, your default settings gradually shift and your behavior naturally aligns with your deepest The progressive path to freedom. Freedom, despite what we often imagine, does not arrive suddenly or easily. It emerges gradually through sustained exposure to truth. The pattern is clear. Continuing in truth leads to knowing truth, and knowing truth leads to freedom. This progression cannot be reversed or shortcut. Many desire liberation without the discipline it requires, seeking prophecy without process and manifestation without mental renovation. But genuine faith is distinguished from mere belief by one essential element: action. If your thinking does not eventually change your behavior, it has not yet become faith operating in your life. The divine will not override your thinking to accomplish its purposes. Instead, you're invited into alignment, given the dignity of choosing agreement. Your will functions as the switch that releases power into your circumstances. When your mind is renewed, you see opportunities where others see only obstacles, and your vision determines what you ultimately pursue and possess.